Hugh Jackman supported rumored girlfriend Sutton Foster at her Once Upon a Mattress show in Los Angeles on Friday. The X-Men actor, 56, was spotted in the audience at the Ahmanson Theatre to watch Foster, 49, perform in the Broadway production, according to photos published by DeuxMoi. Jackman sat next to Carol Burnett, who originated Foster's role as Princess Winnifred in the 1959 production. With a smile on his face, Jackman took a photo of the comedy legend, 91, as the rest of the audience looked at them, DeuxMoi reported. The audience gave massive applause for Carol Burnett during intermission. One attendee told the gossip account. The latest Once Upon a Mattress revival starring Foster opened on Broadway in August. The show, which also stars Gasteyer and Urie, is about a princess who tries to win the hand of a prince in a kingdom where the queen has banned marriage. The production transferred to LA for 4 weeks of shows that end on Sunday, January 5th. Foster and Jackman previously were co-stars in The Music Man that started previews in December 2021 and ran through January 2023. In November 2024, it was reported that Jackman had an affair with Foster when they were on Broadway together. Jackman allegedly cheated on his longtime wife Deborra-Lee with the younger alum. Sutton and Hugh's relationship is the reason Hugh and Deb got divorced. A source close to Foster told US Weekly, "A lot of people on Broadway knew, and we kept it quiet because both of them are so nice and great people. Everyone respected their privacy. But there was an affair and overlap." Jackman announced he was separating from his wife of 27 years in September 2023. The former couple share adopted children Oscar, 24, and Ava, 19. Foster, meanwhile, filed for divorce from her husband of 10 years, Ocean's 11 screenwriter Ted Griffin, last month, just as news broke about Jackman and Foster's alleged secret romance. Foster shares an adopted daughter, Emily, 7, with Griffin, 53. A theater source told US Weekly last year that Jackman and Foster are a couple, but don't live together because of their kids. But Sutton has told people on Broadway about the relationship. "Everyone there has known about this for a long time," added the insider. Meanwhile, a source for Page 6 claimed, "They are 100% together and are in love and want to spend the rest of their lives together. They go out of their way to hide it, but it's common knowledge." The Post previously reached out to Jackman and Foster's reps for comment. The actors were very open about how they formed a tight relationship when they were Broadway co-stars.